wisdom, which might even be like sit by a river or love your neighbor or control your anger or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I think that's the key. I think both of you guys are making very explicit points that are important. One point is that there is information and there is action, right? And I think that's what the Jews said on Mount Sinai, right? Maaseh Nishma, right? Like that was a concept on Mount Sinai. It's like we would do and say we will make it and Nishma, right? We will and then we listen, right? So it's just saying like that the whole concept is not separated, but the point is saying that we have a system that's around us that's built around separation and divisiveness, right? And it's like it is very familiar and safe to have our positions in society and life and say, hey, let's point the finger at this person, this person, I'm the righteous person, they're the evil, and they say the same thing about me, and we fight, and whoever has the most money, has the most money for arms, hey, that's the winner, right? So to move out of that frame of consciousness, right, and then move into a higher consciousness, it was like we don't want to see people die at all, right? Period. That's not what we want to see. We want to see people to finish their purpose, right? To correct their souls and to learn how to love and to care and transform. So in that frame of thinking, then it's like, okay, so what do we do to create environments where that is the focal point to say, and I will just say like this is something just to think about. The whole concept in Western society does not acknowledge the soul. They said that the soul is like it's a metaphysical concept. We can't judge it, whatever. And I believe 100% that they have created that mechanism because if people understood that they were a soul, it would break the whole control mechanism that exists in society. Because the whole control.
Where does your soul go when you die?
Okay, we'll get there. But this is acknowledge that we have a soul, and we acknowledge that the system that we live in does not acknowledge that we have a soul, right?
Our system says we go to heaven when we die.
Okay, fine. Fair enough.
Where did you go?
I'll explain everything to you. Our sages have talked about it for thousands of years. So, but the main concept is to say that the system, the Western society, the academia, the best, Harvard, Yale, Cambridge, all these universities, right? They do not acknowledge that the human being has a soul in all their academia. And if they did acknowledge
organizations and institutions. Okay, so how we now say that they don't promote the soul Christians? We know that we go to heaven, we protect our souls. Where does your soul go? Does it go to purgatory? Does it go to heaven? Does it go to hell? Where does your soul go? My Jewish doctrine.
Yeah, so the point that we're talking about at this stage, right, is the fact that academia, universities around the world, regardless of who you think controls them, none of them acknowledge that the human being has a soul. It's a metaphysical concept that they do not acknowledge. And the point that I'm making to you is that the non-acknowledgement of the human soul is strategically there to create people who are part of groupthink, right? Where people think in a frame of group versus accepting their uniqueness and expressing and diving into their uniqueness and finding their unique expression in this lifetime, right? So I get it, groups, Jews, blacks, this, whites, this, Arabs.
Wait, brother, you're talking like out of two sides of your mouth. I'm trying to get you going. Everybody operates by a group. Everybody goes by.
No, we don't have to.
Everybody aligns with a certain frame. Yeah, you have to. If you don't,
no, we don't.
Then my rules can supersede yours. And if my rules supersede yours, your life has no meaning.
But I'm saying if you have 1,000 people in a room, and each one of those people said instead of being a part of group think, I'm going to be an individualistic think. And those people who were in a frame of individualistic think found people that they agreed with.
I
Hey, Don. I don't know why. See, this is what I mean about the update.
Nobody argued against the young generation. It's other people like who?
You.
I don't know.
The game begins.
Now we got the West over there, like a German gangster. That's one of my projects. Let me catch him up to Bryce Lingo.
About Jamaica and talking about Prince and trying to bring him back. It's not let me invite him. I don't know what's happening. I'm trying. Don't know. But I wanted to stop and let Jamalik use a microphone, but he cannot speak. This is a Palestinian from Gaza. I want to give him all the respect. This is my friend from Gaza, and I'm very, very proud.
Their tactics of fighting is not like going to war like conventionally. They shoot rockets in order to draw fire. Okay? When they draw fire in order to show everyone that, oh look, we're poor, we have a lot of casualties. That's the kind of war it is.
It's like spear chuckers. Eli, it's like ancient times when these people would fight and they would throw spears at each other, like they would run at each other and then run back and then run back. And you see what I'm saying?
Very good analysis. I love it.
Now, just emphasizing on, I'm glad it's more peaceful here. Like, but yeah, I know I was talking too much. I just think in general, man, I'm just glad that we. Listen,
do you know about the country? What's its name?
Balakistan.
No, Nigeria.
Niger.
Always black and doctor.
Balakistan is in Pakistan, I believe. I saw it in the news once and I didn't believe it. I was like, there's no such place called Balakistan or something. Balakistan. It's part of the stands. I'm not making this up. They had some kind of fucking war there recently. And I heard Pakistanis on here yesterday talking about it. I'm not talking about King Kunta Kinte. I'm talking about a piece of shit third world country you never heard of. It sounds made up, but it's fucking real. It's in the news.
Do you know that my paternal lineage is from Turkmenistan?
Cool.
Yeah. I know that's third world war.
What is up with all these stands? Like, did Alexander the Great rule the whole thing at one point?
I don't know.
Yeah.
He did, right?
Yeah, all of like Eastern Europe and like Northern Middle East.
Yeah, that must have sucked when he died because like he could have kept going. So is Genghis Khan technically the most successful military conqueror of all time?
No, not if you let the Pope talk you out of it.
Really, you think the Pope conquered? I mean, have you seen the map of Genghis Khan's territory?
Yeah, but you know how is that Attila the Hun I'm thinking of?
Attila the Hun.
One of them, it may be Attila the Hun I'm thinking of. One of them was stopped in their conquest by the Pope.
Oh, wasn't that Genghis Khan? Or was
I mean, maybe Genghis Khan. I think it actually is. And yeah, I don't consider that a great conqueror. If you're about to win and then you let some guy in a pointy hat come out and speak to you on behalf of the royalists and, you decide to end it there, it's just like, what the fuck? It's like playing chess and then forfeiting at the very end when you're about to get checkmate. It doesn't make sense to me.
See, I think Genghis Khan operated on the same psychological principles that the Japanese imperial military did. They took over China and, imprisoned the Pucci or Putai, the last Chinese emperor. Like the Zero fighter, that you can create human robots that will suicide themselves in the war. to expand the empire, and it works because humans are just like you said earlier today, cattle.
Yes. Well, the question is like, is he the greatest conqueror? Well, who conquered him? And that's the Pope. The Pope went out there without armies, almost in defeat, by himself. He physically walked out there to Genghis Khan and talked to him, and then converted him to Catholicism. That's a crazy thing. He conquered Genghis Khan.
Are you serious? That's a true story?
Yeah, that's a true story. It may be Attila the Hun that I'm thinking of. It's one of them.
I never heard of that story. But people will claim to you that the Khazar kingdom is the modern day Jews, and therefore the people living in Israel are illegitimate. And that to me is a grand delusion of epic proportions that people think that way because they've never been there. And when you go there, I think it probably dehypnotizes you, and you actually meet real people, and you're like, oh, I was hypnotized.
In Khazaria or
in Israel, I'm saying when people get to Israel and they meet Israelis, they realize that they live in a bubble themselves, and we all live in communication bubbles, culture bubbles.
Have you ever been over here? Oh,
Yeah.
Yes, have you been?
Yeah, I've been there 4 times.
Masa?
No, vacation.
Vacation?
Yeah.
Any place to vacation in, to be honest?
No, I mean I've been to Jordan twice, and I've been to Israel twice with family and friends, and I did a birthright trip in Israel.
Jordan is actually a good destination. It's cheap, like the...
It's not cheap. What are you talking about? It's probably more expensive than Israel.
What? Where have you been? When have you been?
It's comparable. It's really comparable. It's expensive. It's always expensive when you vacation.
Okay, so it's Genghis Khan's son and Attila the Hun that the Pope converted. So he converted 2 different Asian invaders to Catholicism before their death, which is crazy. That's a crazy conversion, type of deal.
Yeah, but how can you believe that? How do you know that's true?
You're right, I don't know. That's just what the Pope says and what history says. For all I know, they went there and were like, fuck you, and then they chopped their heads off, But I have no idea.
But it's irrelevant. It's like people faking it. There's something in this book of legends.
You're right. I've seen Vikings. I've seen the show where they just say, put me in the bath and then let me be a king. I can rape everybody I want now because I'm a king.
They say that happened with Moses and the golden calf. They pretended to worship the golden calf, and so God pretended to punish them. Meaning that pretending is like role playing. And sometimes you do it to just like flip the script and have more fun, but you do it out of survival reasons primarily. I mean, people need to conform to the environment. And anyways, this is the problem with the Trump rejection syndrome that you are witnessing real time with people on this app. I don't know. It's just like rampant virtue signaling.
I don't know. Trump in the past couple of hours has made me super angry. I'm not sure I trust this guy anymore. He apparently sent an envoy to King Charles to ask about the United States joining the British Commonwealth.
What's wrong with that?
Where did you read that? Is that on X?
That's completely brand new. Look it up right now. I'm not sure why nobody else is talking about it. What do you mean? What's the problem with that? We fought a revolution to not do that. That's the whole point.
You are an English state. You do not want to speak.
We are not an English state. What the hell are you talking about?
You are an English-speaking state. Let me use that.
We are not going to join the British.
Dude, James, that's a troll. James, he's trolling the King of England. He's trolling them because he's trolling.
Just like, if he's not, to me, that's like treason at the highest order I can think of.
It's a troll. You know why he's doing it? Because Conor McGregor was just in the Oval Office. You're not following the news. James is fucking with us. James got us there. James pulled a fast one. Because Conor McGregor was just in the Oval Office, and now he comes out with a hat saying, "Make Ireland great again," and he says he's running for the presidency of Ireland. So Trump is trolling King Charles. Trump is so American, he's fucking with him even from 1776 right now. If that's a real troll, I haven't seen it. I haven't looked, but that's comedy. James, you don't think Trump is like...
I hope so.
He's one of the funniest people who's ever lived.
I don't know. I was so furious reading it, man. It was just like insane to me. The idea of it, just the words of it. He even goes, "I love King Charles." So maybe you're right. Maybe he's trolling. But if he's not, then I have great, great fucking concern because I have no loyalty to the royalists. The royalists
I
are
don't know.
fucking evil.
The conservative fucking for some reason are voting 2 times now for a mainstream Democrat elected into office and dissing how great he is. What's up with that?
Dude, James, I'm looking at Donald Trump's X account. I don't see what you're talking about. Where did you read this? This is all about the judge. You were just kidding?
I'm not kidding. Donald Trump has said this. It was crazy.
I'm looking at where? Where did you read this crazy shit? Because his X account has nothing to do with any of this. You're full of shit. I don't see this shit. Where did you read this? He sent a special envoy to King Charles. Let me just Google it, see what it says.
There we go. It is Politico, which means, it's less of a credit, but still.
Yeah, I don't think there's any problem with that, to be honest. I mean, I get I'm not American, but let him do it, man. I mean, what you want to speak Spanish? I'm telling you, man, if you don't align yourself with at least the strongest English linguistic nation, you may find yourself, not even being really American. I mean, can you really be an American if you can't speak English?
Yeah, I don't believe in the ideology of a language or ethnic supremacy that makes the republic.
You're not.
James
is not wrong.
You are anti-American as fuck, man. What the hell, bro? What this guy just said? No.
The republic is not built on ethnic identity of it.
Dude, James is not wrong, man. We might become a commonwealth.
Let me tell you, man. Let me tell you something. You guys
are not one. And nobody's talking about it on the app. It's like, we're going to become part of the Commonwealth? Are we serious?
Whoa.
Under the fucking king?
I never heard of this. This is wild.
So what? You want to be part of Spanish coalition?
No, I want to be a republic, as we have been from the fucking start, 1776.
Damn, dude.
I was there to we can be a Republican.
James, this is wild.
I will only start a violent revolution if this becomes real. I will literally start killing redcoats.
It's starting all over again. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. How much do you want to bet?
Going into the harbor. I'm going straight fucking 1776. This is not allowed.
So there's gonna be a war amongst the English again. Meaning English speakers are going to now start fighting each other. Elon Musk on X yesterday said civil war is inevitable. He put that on X. I couldn't believe it.
Doctor, can you really be an American if you can speak English? Like, what are we talking about? The English speakers. You can't be an American. American is an English word. For God's sake, it's not Americano.
No, I'm saying that the Americans revolted from an English king, and now in 2025, because of trickery, Trump, who may have been what we would call a Trojan horse, is going to pull a fast one on us and turn us into essentially a monarchical dictatorship again.
Yeah, and look, it appears that he's been a royalist the entire time.
Damn.
But you guys want leadership. You only vote for 2 parties. What are you talking about?
Trickster.
You don't vote for the party en masse. You don't believe in coalition government. You believe in masters. The thing is, you believe in 2 masters. That's
listen, Musan, I don't know why you're so upset. We're fluent English speakers. We'll do just fine in the new world government. How are you going to survive? That's what we should be asking you. How will you survive the new government?
Nah, man, I don't live in America, man. I'm just a commentator from far. I'm up living in the moon. You don't even know.
Are you part of the Commonwealth?
Yes.
That explains it. Yeah, fuck your Commonwealth.
Yeah, fuck your Commonwealth. Fuck your Commonwealth. Fuck your Commonwealth. Fuck your Commonwealth. Could you imagine? See, how do you think this plays out, though, with the Federal Reserve and the $40 trillion? Because Trump is going to try to sell it to us as saying this is a way for us to resolve the debt. We can't pay it back. We need to reunite. Do you think he's gonna? What is Trump's communication going to be regarding this when he gives a speech about rejoining the Commonwealth?
I have no idea. How is he going to sell this? That's my question too. Like, what the fuck?
Because we're all conditioned.
We seem to be legitimately discussing this as a real thing.
Yeah. So I mean, we're hyper conditioned to fight against a king. So do you think there will be insurrection in this country and veterans will actually form a militia to fight back against?
I know there will be, because I will insurrect. I will personally lead an insurrection against the fucking king taking over the country.
Do you think we can make Commander Valentina a general and with her flamethrower and Tesla? Do you think she'll like lead the troops into the thrust to take the Congress, take the Senate, take the judiciary?
You know, like you know they do with Captain America, they bring him to the front of the war zone and he does like a little parade show. You know, we use Valentina Gomez for that.
Do you think how fast do you think she runs a 2 mile?
I don't know. I'm sure if I watch Twitter that there's probably something on there. I forgot she had a.
I'm thinking her 2 mile time is probably like 14:25. What do you think?
War is definitely coming. Hopefully not.
Well, war is always coming.
I didn't know this was going to happen. I can't believe this was Donald Trump here.
It's interesting how the news is actually not discussing it.
Yes, nobody's discussing it. No, like you think that the left wing would go like, "This is the biggest story we can use to attack Trump ever." Silence.
But see, okay, so this is the thing: is you know why they're not talking about it? Because it would enrage the libtards on the left to think that we're going into a monarchy and that Prince William and Princess Kate or whatever her name is will become the de facto royalty of the United States of America. And people on this app for a long time have been calling for a monarchy, and they're essentially very Protestant in nature. I don't, whatever the future is, I mean, thanks for bringing this up because I had never heard of this before, but it actually does seem that Trump he's German and Scottish, right? So he's got to be connected to these bloodlines. I mean, because the British monarchy is German.
I call it a Napoleonic error. That's what Napoleon did too. He almost had the aristocrats defeated. And instead of equalizing them as citizens, he decided, I want to be an aristocrat myself, and became emperor. And it appears Trump is trying to do the same thing now. He's going to bow down to the royals of the Germanic tribes and say, I will follow your rules. Fuck that.
Wow, dude. I want to say you're probably a prophet in this issue. I think you are the first person I have ever heard bring this up, and I bet you that this is your prophecy, meaning it came from Business Insider, but nonetheless, you're the prophet of the Clown House, Dr. James.
I am the one true prophet of Clown House. That is completely correct. There's my nose right there.
So what do we call the new government?
I don't know. I'm thinking the new government that we create would be called the NRA, the New Republic of America. They already hate the NRA, so we'll just call it the NRA.
Yeah.
Wait, Doctor, what if the new monarchy is Meghan Markle and Prince Harry? Wouldn't that be better? Because Meghan at least...
No. We don't care about who the king or queen is.
See, this is the thing: is Saudi Arabia is a very big monarchy. There's 100,000 princes. There's all these. It's a big monarchical system, and Britain has the same thing. I don't know if you've ever met anybody from royalty, that is related to royals in England, but that whole system of titles is really an archaic way for technically just talking about corporate organization or org charts. So, Trump could be a combination Trojan horse brought in by Jeffrey Epstein and Prince Andrew, overseen by the king himself. This could have been a multi-year, decade after decade intelligence operation by the crown's royal agents to essentially get back the lost prize of 1776. This could be the most historically crazy thing ever. And I would be willing to bet that is probably true because even in World War II, U.S. generals, colonels were preparing to attack Canada in the event that the UK or the king attempts to, take Washington, D.C. So, this isn't a soft coup. This is like a dictatorship coup of incredible design because even the Steele dossier, which was concocted with Hillary Obama and British intelligence. See, that's the weirdest thing, James. Think about that. They go to this huge effort to keep Trump out of office, but he was the.
Well, they were using fake things they knew would be exposed as fake. It's almost like these things that were so fake, like him being peed on by hookers, were so clearly fake that they knew it would cause a fire, but would cause delegitimacy, which would only give him strength. What it is, it's like I try to explain to people, like King Charles is called King Charles for a reason. They're like, oh, he doesn't have power, he doesn't have this. I'm like, guys, if that were true, they wouldn't have a king. It would just not exist. If it was really nothing at all, then that would not be there. There would have no point in it. I'm like, oh, it's for this and that. I'm like, no, it's because the king is a fucking king. And he does command shit 100%. And they do intend to continue that line forever and never and never. And that means the establishment of the UK globally as an empire. Without that, that king falls.
So where does this leave Germany then? Like, I mean,
Germany's already subjugated with the House of Windsor.
Oh, wow, you're right. Yeah.
Their royals already married in, so the UK already owns Germany now. Their aristocrat class is already married into the royals, and it's become one.
So why does Patton say we fought the wrong enemy? We should have fought the Bolsheviks and communists. Meaning that, like, I understand that Germany is subjugated. Like, everything goes to the king. But see, how long do you think that fat-fingered fucker is going to live? He looks like he's ready to pop. So it goes down to his son and Kate Middleton, or whatever the fuck her name is. Like, they're the new rulers of the world.
Yeah, the problem is, I would say that World War I and World War II, it was not the Republic, it was not America. Those generals that we like to idolize were royalists, 100%. And I say royalists, not loyalists, royalists, which is an actual word. They believe in the royal structure, protecting the royal structure of Europe.
So, I mean, the thing is, the U.S. military, in the event of, like, a reintegration into the Commonwealth, how does the Commonwealth play into NATO? Like, they are a primary funder of NATO as well. Anyways, do you think this is like a debt resolution, essentially? No,
it's exactly the way you described it a minute ago. It is the way for them to reassert the kingdom and the king as the one in charge. Right now, our Constitution recognizes that the king and queen. So Donald Trump met with King Charles and met with Queen Elizabeth. And I have issue with that because technically it's against the law for the president to meet with them. They're not heads of state. They're not elected. They're not equal to the president of the United States.
So this is technically going to make Trump like a sub-king or like a demigod essentially, because he brought back America to the king. So he will be rewarded as basically being the Duke of New York. Whoa, this is wild.
Yeah, it sounds like the highest treason I can think of if it ends up coming true. I hope he is, like you said, trolling, and he backtracks it or something like that, you know? And he's not just trying to, like, I don't think he realizes how damaging those words are as president of the United States.
This solves a lot of problems, actually, because people like AOC and Bernie Sanders, they're the real anarchists. This might actually prevent anarchy in a way by making everybody mesmerized and hypnotized with this grand reunification between the mother and the son that was lost. Like, go watch that movie, The Madness of King Charles, the whatever. It's like he's looking at the globe and he's like, America, the country I must not mention, what we've lost. Like, there's still this like divide in the king. Like, they can't believe they lost this fucking fortune. And this is a political way to get it back. Like, it's remarkable because you're the first person who's ever brought this up. And the fact that, see, the whole thing could deal with blackmail, because the honeypot with Epstein, he's kind of like an equal opportunist James Bond 007. He was friends with Prince Andrew, best friends, like thick as thieves. They're all in on it, like, meaning that this whole thing was to try to get back the biggest gem in the world, which is America. And this integration makes sense because of the historical, separation. So That, you know what? That Constitution with Thomas Jefferson, the eternal separation, that's just a concept. That was a hypnosis for the people then. But they are going to tear that up and make new world history with new empire.
Yeah, this is their new world order the way they see it. That's what we've been fighting against now. I mean, I think it's just so against the opposite of what I desire. I desire a unity with England as well, but under the Republic, under the Star-Spangled Banner, with them as citizens under the Constitution. They want the reverse, where we're subjects to the king. And now we have the president, who I thought was the guy that was going to be ushering in my ideology, bowing down to the royalists, it seems. I'm just left in awe right now, because 2 hours ago I was a Donald Trump fan, and now my stomach has turned and I'm unsure. It's one of the great, like they're talking about, oh, Russia. It seems that we just bowed to the UK king. That's the bigger problem. Russia's a republic. Maybe it's not a very good functioning republic, but it is a republic. And we should have seen it coming. He has claimed these crazy things. He's always wanted to join the old money. That's what his goal has been. He's new money. He wants to join the old money and, break his way in. And he's been useful so far, but now that he's broken in, I feel like he's going to take an agenda and his own ideology away from the populist movement.
So Elon, I listen to Elon a lot under Adrian Dittman, and he commonly goes back to dictatorship. And he's a German himself. So I started recording Adrian Dittman probably 10 months ago because I'm thinking as an American, like, don't we have to be worried about foreign intelligence essentially overtaking our government and figuring out, like, meaning that I thought Elon being a German, because he constantly refers to his East German ancestry and how his family was subjected to socialism, communism, and how terrible it is. It's almost like the whole political game really is about true power and domination. So this makes sense that this is like what kind of Alex Jones is talking about with regards to the New World Order and old Europe or ancient Europe and new America, new world versus old world. Like, it's about global domination and hegemony. But the thing is, it is like a fucking chessboard. And I don't think anybody saw this coming. I didn't see this coming. Did you? I couldn't even conceive of
I
this.
did not see it coming. I mean, I've been aware of the royalists and their plot. I didn't see the Donald Trump thing coming. I thought that he's been our guardian. I've been supporting this guy because I thought this is the guy in the way. And now all of a sudden he's switched in silence. It's not anywhere. It's not on Fox News. It's not on CNN, on NBC. Nobody on Clubhouse is talking about it. It's like, this is the biggest news in the entire world, if we're being so for real. It's the largest news that I have ever witnessed in my entire life. The idea of the United States joining the Commonwealth to relinquish 1776 and our independence to a king is global changing shit. History changing. And it's something that I'm so feverishly against, I don't even know how to describe it to you. Well, I would form men up in columns and march in trenches to make sure that it never happens.
See, I wouldn't fight over this personally. If this is the change, I would prefer to meditate in the sun and continue reading books and pick up a weapon and try to fight this out. My father, on the other hand, who's an NRA member, lifelong NRA member, might disagree because, what was the purpose then of 1776 in Yorktown and fighting to the death? Why did all those Americans die? They fought for a concept. And if that concept of liberty and individualism, or really separation from monarchy, because that's the ultimate fuck you, that you're born into essentially family monopoly. Like, that's not really, that's the thing is, I've met British women, and I told this girl that I really liked, she worked in banking in London, and I told her, I was like, don't you think your king and queen and all your royals, you guys are all just LARPing? I was like, you're just like, you guys can't let go of your medieval ways. Like you just continue to communicate that way. She got furious with me, but she still slept with me. The point is, I don't dislike anyone that speaks English. In fact, I like people that speak English a hell of a lot more than pieces of shit that don't speak English. That's been my general consensus about English speakers in general. If you're just picking up the language, I trust you less. It could be my naivete, but I just trust. You know why I trust English speakers more? Because I know I can work in an English world. Like you are a master of the English tongue. Like you told me just earlier, that woman came up to you and was like, "I love you." Like I believe in you because you believe in yourself and you've got wisdom. So I don't know if this is all just a troll or I'm trying to think about the backstory that we don't know about, meaning that like the king looks at the whole thing as like his pie, and like how is he going to manipulate it, because he's global in essence. But I don't know. Like, how does France respond? How does Italy respond? How does Germany, Switzerland? Like, what's the world's consensus on this transformation, which is essentially the elimination of 1776 and Jefferson and the founders? Like, doesn't it just throw the whole thing out of the fucking window? Like, you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. So, like, just don't see Americans resisting. I see
Yeah,
them.
in terms of some people like, actually what you're saying, yeah, that's the problem I'm having. I even tried to bring it up in Chillism and a couple other rooms. People were all like, James, it's a boring topic. I'm like, boring? I was like, America won't exist. You guys are just okay with it? They're like, I don't really see it as a problem. I'm like, there's no way that this is the America that, like, I've been talking to you guys for years. You guys are, like, just going to be complicit in the ideology of becoming like Australia or Canada, subject to the UK and the crown, and when it comes to the wealth. We were talking about the families, the 12 Germanic families, and you bring up Elon, he's related to one of the 12 Germanic families. And if you look at the banking system, the way that we have it today, it is broken up into those 12 Germanic families, those 12 Germanic tribal families. There's 12 major banks that are broken up and owned by each of the heads of these families. The ancient royals of Europe. It's crazy. It's an insane thing.
Well, for me, again, James, like I like you personally, and I both want success for you and myself. Now, whether or not this is true and actually comes to fruition, I would be speculative on this type of massive transformation, meaning that it could be too much for the population to even believe or ingest. Like this would be the biggest event in American history, really, since the founding, like the reintegration, because our Congress won't disappear. Like it will act as essentially like a Commonwealth nation, whatever that means, which is like a vassal state, meaning that we essentially stop holding our dicks and our rifles, and we're like, it puts us into somnambulance or a deep hypnotic state, which means that like we don't have the spirit anymore. He will take the spirit essentially out of America and consume it. But if it consolidates in his son and Kate Middleton, her name's Kate Middleton, right? What the fuck is that bitch's name? His wife, the son's wife.
I think it's Kate Middleton, yeah, pretty sure.
Because Prince Charles isn't gonna last that long. He's gonna pop. Like he's already inflamed. And if these dumb fucks took the Zav and the boosters because they're that stupid, that's the thing is. These Trump maybe even took the Zav, like, or he took a fake. But like, I do think culling of the population has happened with the Zavs, and but yeah, that's the thing about controlling communication is Pete Hegseth and the military. They are going to do what they are told to do. That's what soldiers do. They the Praetorian Guard thrives off of the power of the concentration of power. The Praetorian Guard will do what they are told to do because they know that they get to thrive, and it's their party too. So you could be right, but it's hard to because every 4th of July I read Jefferson and the Declaration of Independence, and I'm just like, that eternal separation clause is profound because that it's like, but then I'm thinking like now, like, well, maybe it's there because who knows? You could be right, man. This is wild. Like, I can't believe
it's
it.
like look at anti-Semitism, for example. That's the best example I can find of why not to adopt their system. Anti-Semitism is adopted under the idea that the Germanic tribes should expel the Hebrew tribes. So the 12 tribes are the Germans, the Visigoths, the Goths, Angles, Saxons, blah, 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 whatever the 12 are, believe that the 12 Jewish tribes, this is what Hitler's ideology truly was, need to be removed. That they were a separate elite that was competing with their elite. And that's the ideology that these old worlds have, that our world does not have. The new America, the new world, just has citizens. It's just regular people. You know, your neighbor may be a Muslim, maybe a black person. You don't see a Visigoth or, you know, these tribal identities that they do. And they use new words now, like France instead of Franks, or England instead of Angles. But they still very much so identify with these ancient tribal identification markers.
So, I mean, I know Alex Jones is big into this, and this one guy that I worked with, he's like, we have to be aware of the WEF, and I assume the WEF is like controlled by these people, but Soros, I don't know, it's a big fucking integrated network though, so it's like hard to think it's tribal when you have essentially tribes doing business with tribes, so to speak. I mean,
yeah. So after World War II, a new establishment was created where these 12 tribes of each family and the separate tribal groups decided to work together now. So like Israel exists because the tribal groups are working with the ones of the Angles and the Saxons, and America is helping them out. So now Japan exists because Japan also has a 12 tribe group. So Japan also gets to be joined in and help out. And it's very, if you look at this 12 tribe shit, what's weird is the Black Hebrew Israelites, the ones who brought the word 12 tribes to me, and I started to look into this 12 tribe stuff and started to notice there's a pattern. Across the entire globe, every single group is centered into 12 tribal groups. And those 12 tribal groups are what make up the royal families of these areas. So the Saudis, for example, again, 12 tribal Arabic groups. The Celtics, for example. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. I can literally go on for a list of 100 people, 100 groups, that 12 tribe groups that origin up their power.
I know, but the
thing
is, since there's so many, it becomes essentially, you know, redundant. And so what you have is like, technically, it's a chessboard. Or do you think it's essentially Freemasonry, which is in the shadows?
I think the Freemasons identified it. If you look at the Freemasons, they have an obsession with the Fibonacci sequence. And part of the Fibonacci sequence is the number 13. The Masons describe 13 as 12 plus one leader. So it's like, that's exactly what we're seeing here. You know, 12 tribes, one leader of the 12 tribes for each group. It's very Masonic is what you see. I'm not sure if they created it or if they just identified it.
So wait, how will American Catholics respond to the reintegration? I mean, won't they be pissed because they'll feel like it's taking power away from the Vatican and the papacy in America?
Yeah, they probably will be. It definitely creates it does exactly the opposite, where we're supposed to be united. You know, Catholics and Protestants live together. Now, you know, we're in the Commonwealth, we're acknowledging the Protestant faith, because by doing that, we are acknowledging the Church of England against the Vatican. So we are acknowledging one church over another church by joining that Commonwealth. Because don't forget this, the government of England is a religious government. It's a theocracy. The king is a whatever fucking word I'm trying to see, a theological leader.
Yeah, it's a monarchy, and he is the head of church. So Anglicanism is not really it's not, you don't see it that often here. It's very rare. But nonetheless, the point is, it's about control and power and really the legacy for him and for his children, because the children will inherit the reins. I'm just wondering, like, how this will actually come into the communication spectrum for the American population to essentially vote on in the super consciousness, because this hasn't really broke. Meaning that, like, if I go on X right now and I start looking this up and see what people are saying, like,
you might only see me talking about it, yeah.
Yeah, because this could be like the next level conspiracy. But the thing is, Elon Musk has sour grapes about the Zav and Bill Gates. He hates Bill Gates. So like even amongst the oligarchy or groups and in groups, out in groups, even amongst the billionaires, many of the billionaires hate other super billionaires because they got sour grapes. Like you tricked me with your product, bitch. And then it's like, no, now I tricked you with your product, bitch. It's like even amongst them, the gods are battling. So that's why I say, like, I would let it all go, meaning, like, I'm not, I'm still going to go try to enjoy my day. Like, this news isn't going to impact my, pattern.
Well, see, for me, it's not like it's like ruins my day. It in fact invigorates me because I've been waiting. I do have an unhealthy belief in the destiny that I hold. And it may even be a delusional belief. I'm not sure. I have put a lot of concrete effort into reality to make this delusion real. So maybe it's not a delusion. Maybe it is just what I want. And I've been wondering, how do I compete with the Donald Trump saga? How does this era end? How do I survive it as a politician to create what I want? And it appears that it will be through resistance of the very man that I helped support at one point. If this is what he decides to achieve, that may very well be what gives me political rise, is resistance against it.
Yeah, but really fiscal conservatism, exposing fraud, arresting, punishing, establishing, preventative measures for a repetition, reestablishing a sound currency. I mean, these are things that we have to consider because the whole thing that I can't really understand is if we reincorporate with the King of England and the Bank of England, I mean, we're delusional to think that it's not already integrated, that the Bank of England and the Federal Reserve aren't already holding hands. And I'm pretty sure that's true.
Yeah, exactly. This would just be a symbolic thing that would, like you said, not even symbolic. I mean, there would be real economic stuff that happens with it too. But it would really just say that America no longer exists as an independent state. That we would be equal to Canada or Australia, when in fact we are not equal. We are the number one. Like any type of agreement needs to be centered with us as the holder and the dignitary or whatever. It should be the American Commonwealth and British can join, but us joining their Commonwealth, I mean, it's just exactly what that's the exact thing that we fought against. That's what we were. We were part of the Commonwealth.
Well, we fought against injustice, abuse, and perversion of law. I mean, they were raping us. They were sucking us like vampires, and as brave warriors with the French and the Polish and every man who stood, for justice and law fought against the injustice of their legal system. I mean, it's predatory, it's predation, it's vampirism. And King Charles, is literally supposedly related to Dracula. Like, I don't know if you've seen all that documentary shit. Alex Jones but anyways, he goes to fucking Transylvania and he claims that I am the descendant of Vlad the Impaler. Like, clearly, either it's true and these people are living out their manifest destiny or they're LARPing it. I claim that they're LARPing it. And as a result of their LARP, they fool everybody around them into playing the game. That's my theory.
Sorry, I was putting a dog on a chain outside. And yeah, definitely. I mean, what's crazy is like a lot of the stuff I identify, people keep telling me it's Alex Jones. And in fact, none of it's Alex Jones. I don't watch Alex Jones. If this is stuff I've simply seen myself, that apparently this guy Alex Jones has also seen too. So it means it's been verified by multiple different witnesses through external view. It's not like I've been influenced by some guy named Jones to think this. I've been influenced through the evidence to think it. A little out of breath was chasing a dog. We killed the room again, but I don't care.
Yeah, but I'm putting all this on YouTube, etc. And like, this is groundbreaking news. And for me, this is big. This is a journalist on Saturday, March 22nd, 2025. I mean, we have essentially uncovered a secret plot to overthrow the U.S. government and our liberty to essentially make us a vassal state of the King of England and his son and Kate Middleton for possibly the rest of our lives or indefinitely. I mean, it could be a troll, it could be conspiracy, but it does seem to align with, I don't know, like coordination. It's like a jigsaw puzzle that you can't really envision this a year ago. But let alone we can Google this and look at the articles, but this type of coordination. See, do you think it would have happened either way? Like, because isn't Bill Clinton, like every American president supposedly is technically related, right?
No, so I think 2020. That's the irregular thing that I've been trying to figure out is 2020, and I think they know it's irregular. They said it's an election fraud. It's not election fraud. It's the safest election ever. They know it's irregular. The fraud is the lie. The truth is that they intentionally had Donald Trump lose because he needed to lose. He needed us angry so that he can come back, so that he can be this martyr hero. And then he's invincible. It's hard to argue against him now. I thought it was a good thing. It may be a bad thing. It's odd for me to be speaking like this against Trump at the moment. But since he said this, it's because he's speaking against America. So, I have no option but to do so. And it's breaking news, like you said. It is absolute breaking news that for some reason is not covered anywhere else. Nobody cares. I have no idea why. It's massive, massive stuff.
Well, I gotta say, Trump.
What did Trump say? I didn't hear it.
So Donald Trump said that he loves King Charles. Not really that much of a problem, but he wants the United States to join the Commonwealth if invited by King Charles. This is a big problem because King Charles is not a head of state. It's against the law for the president to negotiate or even go see. Like when he went and saw Queen Elizabeth that time, that was against the law. He wasn't allowed to do that. So it's just like, what the fuck is going on here where we see this guy bowing down to these royalists across the sea? And, I've been hearing about the New World Order, and it never made sense to me because traditionally when you think of the New World Order going back to 1700s, America is the New World Order. Now I see it clearly. Their New World Order is America being resubjugated to the crown. That's the New World Order.
Really, it's an integration, not just with the Commonwealth. It's really the U.S. and Europe. It's a Europa, or what would be the name for a Europe America or America Europe?
A United Kingdom.
And that makes sense. I mean, the fucking British obliterated Germany. And, this is essentially, this is where it's like East versus West, where Putin could if America and UK align and China takes Taiwan, we may actually see World War III in our lifetime burst out of the shadow, right? Because these baby boomers are going to boom. It's in their name.
Yeah, the worst thing, I look at World War II, and everybody researches it if you're a man, and they get caught up in the propaganda, it's like, oh, Hitler evil, Hitler evil, Hitler evil. I'm like, I get that, he did bad things, but what was the purpose of this? And then you see, oh, this king, Heiser, blah, 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 was fighting this king, blah, 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 and this king here was blah, 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 and guess what? They're all actually cousins. Their grandma knows each other, and they all grew up together, and became kings of different nations, and because they wanted to prove that their kingdom was better than the other kingdom, millions of people went to 2 world wars. And it's just like, what the fuck? Are you serious? These are not allies. Those are sycophants that are enemies, not just to us, but to humanity in general.
Yeah, I read Michael Scheuer, the CIA analyst. His website is called non-intervention2.com. I've never seen him mention this. Let me get the link. And, but if this is true, this is next level espionage. That's really what this is all about if we're to talk about it, because this would be the greatest fucking coup d'etat and espionage of ever. America is a prize, and this is unbelievable if it's actually, because you know how this whole thing about how we've been saying Canada's going to become the 51st state. It's the exact opposite.
Yeah, that's a psyop. It turns out that has been a psyop just to get us comfortable with the idea.
Yeah, that whole thing is just a fucking.
It's reverse. So apparently, we're going to join them in subjugation. I was all for Canada joining. I'm all for Greenland being bought. I'm all for Mexico joining. And all of a sudden, he's like, "Oh no, we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to join them." And it's like, what the fuck did you just say to me? I feel like Emperor Palpatine just woke the hell up, and Order 66 just went down.
Seems
Like,
like
all the Jedi were just killed. There's nobody left. Everybody's silent. What's going on? Radio silence as the whole fucking Republic is being converted to the Empire right now.
see, it's so hard to know how they're gonna how Trump is gonna sell the concept. My fellow Americans, like, is he gonna use the debt as an excuse? Is he gonna use the threat of World War III as an excuse? Like, how is he gonna sell it to where everybody's like, well, I guess we could do it.
I have no idea. How does he? Well, so far, what we've seen is it's only me and you talking about it. It's not on the news. Politico made it for European websites. It's not exactly something that Americans go to. So for whatever reason, it's underneath the radar and just happening like Donald Trump wants America to join the British Commonwealth.
What?
I know, that's what I said, right? What?
Donald Trump wants Britain to join the British Commonwealth?
No, he wants America to join the British Commonwealth.
He wants us to join with Britain?
He wants us to become a subjugated Commonwealth state to the King of England, yes.
So this is NPR.
This is what Politico, this is Donald Trump's own words. He did it in the White House, but Politico is the only ones who have an article on it right now.
Can you find
It's on Fox News. It's on Fox News as well now.
Okay, it's now on Fox News.
Yes.
Look at that. Trump suggests that the U.S. could join the British. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I express it? So I just want to make sure what I'm hearing. You're saying that Donald Trump, the president of the United States, wants to get rid of the United States and make us a vassal state of the Britain Empire. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, apparently that's what he wants to do. Is that not the craziest thing you've heard?
Yeah, you sound crazy.
It's on right there, Fox News. Look at it.
I'll go look at it.
It sounds like we've been trained at the highest level by this man.
No, bro. I mean, honestly.
And there we go, doctor. Look, that's what we mean. They've been conditioned. Even I have the red hat on. There is no way I will ever approve of joining.
This could be the future, gentlemen. That espionage has taken place. This is like the ultimate chess move. If this actually goes down, that Trump sells us out, pulls the rug out from underneath us, and unites the German clans.
Yes, that would be. I can't stand the idea. 500 years of the republic, 300 years of it standing independent. We got 100 years of its success on the wrong way.
So, in the United States, we got three branches of government. We have the legislative, we have the judicial, we got the executive branch of government, and I'm pretty sure there is no one branch of government that could just decide, oh, you know what? We're no longer the United States. We belong to the Britain. Like that's.
You understand what he's doing, right? If you read about it, bro, this is his attempt to try to get Canada to be able to legally make Canada be part of America. You understand that, right? So according to the Sun, King Charles will propose Washington's partial membership of the Commonwealth during President Trump's upcoming visit to the. Upcoming visit to the palace and an effort to ease tension between the White House and Canada amid their trade war and diplomatic drift. Canada, which would like to be welcomed the 51st of the United States, is also part of the Commonwealth. So that's what he's doing. He's trying to get. Fuck, my back is so fucked up.
Real quick. Let me ask another question. Is he trying to get Canada to be part of the United States, and this is some kind of like hold on, brother, and this is some kind of maneuver to get Canada to join the United States, but the United States is going to remain sovereign, or is it like James is trying to, is it the narrative that James is trying to push, like?
Okay, this is Trump joining King Charles in the Commonwealth. Welcome. The United States is joining the UK Commonwealth. We're now once again a member of King Charles's network.
Serious. That's ready. Is that it? Okay. I'm serious, man. You got it, baby girl. I'm serious, bro. I'm sick of all this fake ass shit. I want to talk. I want to go out there. I want to have a conversation. Yes. Hey, family, man, I got shit about to right. Baby, go home. Go with mommy. Go with mommy. The first thing comes home.
The stuff that we're talking about right now.
Everything they're supposed to do. Right? For the right reasons. Maybe.
I just don't think you need to have aliveness to be conscious.
Yo, James. I don't think people can even wrap their head around this.
Yeah. So being normal is not normal. So dealing with bullshit.
Yo, Billy, we'll bring you back up in a minute. So I don't even think people can wrap their head around this because, see, we don't see the back end of this. Like, this has to be essentially a fiat currency system where they're like, it's totally, like, we didn't realize it, but we were born into a banking monopoly. And they're just going to essentially reintegrate, you know, it's like a merger, basically, right?
Yeah, where they have the 12 banking families that are connected to the royals, the duchess, Dutch kings, whoever the fuck, and they're just going to reintegrate that wealth into the Commonwealth. That's exactly correct what you said. They've already built the foundation, and now it's just as easy as signing the paper away.
Yeah. It's kind of fucked up.
I can't believe that we've been Trojan horsed like this. We have Judas that I'm wearing the guy's hat right now, too. I still believe in the message. And in fact, I think the message, Make America Great Again, can survive without Donald Trump.
But wait a minute, what do you think about Kamala and Vance? Wouldn't they have presided over the same thing? It was just who got the prize, right?
Yeah, I never trusted Vance. I still don't trust Vance. This is a huge problem.
No, not Vance. Not Vance. I mean Kamala and Waltz. They were going to do the same thing. It didn't matter who won. The rug was going to get pulled.
Well, I'm now realizing that they may be on opposite teams. Maybe it's a different... I have no idea anymore. Maybe it's all been just a ploy, because when I think back to 2015, 2014, if I'm going to be honest, when it comes to politics, I hated them all. I had nobody that I liked. I was like, fuck them all. They're all evil bastards. Then Donald Trump comes along, and suddenly I'm caught in this spell. And I realize now that it's like, that's what it was. There was a spell where I was supporting this guy blindly now, and we have led to the point where he is trying to sell our country to the very enemy that we started this country from.
So, this is the thing about Michael Crooks, you know, the shooter, and that whole event where the Secret Service were holding him and he was able to thrust through and say, fight, fight, fight. Dude, if you're the Secret Service and your president, the future, like a president just had his fucking, and his head is bloody, would you really let your president like get back into the front center picture? Like, wouldn't you surround him and like take the next shot? No. The Secret Service were just like, it almost seemed to me like the whole thing was like a charade, or they were acting. And like they're, you know, part of the event. Like, it's an event experience. So I'm just wondering, like...
Well, here's the weird part that I got from this, right? is, and this just last week I thought something different about this detail I'm going to give you. CNN, NBC, ABC, and all the left-wing news agencies had a policy for 2024 to not hold Donald Trump rallies on their live platforms, to not have his speeches, etc. They'll only show portions of his speeches afterwards, except for one singular rally, and that is the Butler, Pennsylvania rally, where every single one of them tuned in from moment one and was there from the second shots started to the second shots ended live. So for whatever reason, they all coordinated for that exact moment to show those images live to the whole globe. So there is something coordinated. I thought it must be evidence that they wanted him to die and they were killing him. Now I think it might be evidence that they all coordinated together to get those images out for part of the brainwash scheme.
So
I don't know, man. I'm just reading here. If you want me to put it in the chat, it says, in Britain monarchy, currently King Charles III serves the head of the state in a constitutional monarchy. This means the king's role is largely ceremonial and symbolic. With limited political powers, the UK is governed by a parliamentary system led by the Prime Minister
Yes,
and Parliament.
he could not change stuff inside the Parliament, etc. But that does not mean that he is powerless.
you gotta understand, he's Emperor Palpatine. This man claims that he is descendant from Vlad the Impaler. Like, he thinks he has like a spirit, a dragon in him. He's delusional.
And he's royal. They're not pretend. It's not fairy tale stuff. They actually believe that they come from heavenly beings and that they are better and more important than the rest of us. They don't call themselves kings for fun. They truly, seriously believe these ideologies about themselves.
So, Dr. Billy, now you know a little bit.
How many reasons do we need to turn on Trump? James, you're just going to start saying this and. I mean, come on.
No, John, it's not about turning on him. It's about analyzing the situation. You got to understand, we're an independent consortium. We're an independent think tank here. This is not personal. We're trying to accurately assess what the future might, actually be. And we will look back on this a few months from now and be like, dude, we called that shit.
And I have never turned on Trump. That's not what I've done here. What I've done is I've just identified that Donald Trump has said something that I would consider, if any other leader had done it, to be a very treasonous act. And I hope he walks it back. I really do. And I'll have support for him again. If he does not, I have no option but to stand against him and that agenda to form us together with the Commonwealth.
Okay, so I just want to tell my dialogue, from my perspective, right? I grew up in this shit. Got 26 sentences. Trump was always the first shit. And I'm not pro Trump. I'm just pro right. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Because I got kids. So you're not gonna fuck with my kids. And Trump is that type of person where he says, yo, listen, man, you're not doing that shit no more. And that's what
Well, I do thank you for your contribution, because now, Doctor, I want to talk to you about the hypnosis that we actually see here with Billy. You're right. They've been conditioned now. I was thinking that the free thinkers were thinking that Donald Trump is great because of logic. And it's been the conditioning to create a larger-than-life man like Billy sees Donald Trump here. The way that Billy's describing him is, oh, he's right, it's wrong, this, that. That's not how this works. Donald Trump has not been right or wrong the entire time. It's either he's been logical or illogical. And joining the Commonwealth is illogical, not right or wrong.
So, we live in the United States of America. And we work, we do what we gotta do, we move forward.
The point is, if we join the Commonwealth, we will not live in the United States of America. We will live in the Commonwealth of the United Kingdom.
So explain to me. I think that Donald Trump is for us.
That's exactly. See, Doctor, you hearing it? Are you hearing it? That's what it's been about. 8 years of it. That's why I'm amazed right now. Donald Trump is for us. I trust Trump to lead America away from 1776 into the hands of the royalists, because I trust Trump. Because 8 years of seeing him suffer, I think that he has been a martyr, that he must be right. So now they have perfectly positioned themselves with a new world order. They don't need black helicopters. They don't need descendant troops. They have Billy. And that's not being ironic. I'm using Billy as a context of all the voters
he got shot in the face, bro. He got shot in the face.
What is that? See, you're bringing up points that have nothing. I'm wearing the hat. Look at my photo. I'm wearing the hat. What does him being shot in the face? What does him being arrested? What does him being vilified have to do with the United States of America joining the Commonwealth of the United Kingdom?
Because he's a person that's real.
No. What does it have to do with the United States dissolving the direct Declaration of Independence and joining a foreign country in
That's
nation?
not gonna happen, James.
That's essentially what it means. To join the Commonwealth is to say that you were subjected to the wealth of the king, centralized wealth. No, it's ridiculous.
That's crazy.
No, what's crazy is this idea. I can't believe what I'm hearing. And
Okay, so
now to speak against Trump.
So you got James. Listen, I gotta agree with you, man. This is like the ultimate coup d'état. This is something that no one really foresaw, and I don't even think soldiers, like everyone in America, nobody can see the Trojan horse like right in front of them. So this is like the amalgamation or the merger of what is it called? The Cox-Sagburn Castle. What is the name of the family? What's the actual surname of the British royal family?
Of the Windsor family?
Yeah. Saxe-Gothberg, Saxe-Gothberg-Coburn, or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's like a combination of 6 different tribal names together into one.
This is remarkable. I don't want anybody to, I want everybody to click the link and at least ponder this before you go any further, because we're trying to map all the pieces together. The JFK assassination, 9/11, and see, everybody's always saying it's Israel. But what if it's really a British intelligence? What if it is a combination of British, French, Italian, Israeli, U.S. intelligence? Like, intelligence knows intelligence. Like, they're tracking each other. So the big question is a merger, can they sell it? Because that's what it comes down to. How do they mass communicate and mass hypnotize the merger and reunification of the United States of America with London? Because look at Russia and Ukraine. If that deal goes down, meaning that reintegration may be coming, this reintegration may be coming. Like, once the major chess piece moves, the opposing forces chess piece moves. We're totally lockstep, one for one. Currency manipulation, war. Like, if we spend, they spend. If we increase, they increase. If we lower, they lower. Like, but we're always trying to get the edge. But now we see the final coup d'etat in American history. This is wild. Like,
and it's always wild. Like, every time I try to talk to you, that's what I get in the chat. Is he's trolling you for content? He's getting content out of you. Yeah, I know. I'm speaking to Doctor here because I know there's content being made. You think I have brilliance to share to non-people who are doing nothing with what I have to give to you? Of course I'm going to speak to this man who's recording it and sharing it across the fucking internet.
I'm not trolling.
He has another room that says low IQ traders and terrorists. So you're
No, it's not about James. It's not about James. It's Chillism and Talking Apes. They don't talk about anything. This room is actually.
Look at the other rooms that he's running. It's recording. It's other different groups. This room here is the room he's in talking.
No, I have many rooms open, but John, I'm not trolling. This actually, John, you don't understand. Jeffrey Epstein. Listen, what is the?
I'm turning against America because I'm saying America should not be subjugated to King Charles, that we should stand as a republic as the founding fathers made. And you're saying that it's because I'm Jewish. You see what I told you about this earlier, Doctor, the tribalism, that the Jewish elite will take down the German elite. There is no elite. We are Americans, and we have to stop the old world for our republic to survive, John. That's what we need to do, or else we all will fall. Look at Windsor. The name Windsor. The name Windsor is Saxe-Coburg Gotha. That is 3 Germanic tribes combined into one because they consider themselves the rulers of the Germanic tribal system, the 12 tribes of the German groups. And they desire to bring back into the fold America, us, into that Germanic tribal system.
There's a conspiracy that the Jews are taking over the world too, right?
This is not a conspiracy of Jews taking over the world. There are Jews trying to take over the world. Another 12 tribal system of Jews, of families, that are competing with the Germanic 12 tribes of Jews, of families. The problem is that you should not choose any of the fucking families. None of the royals of any of these tribes are on your side. It doesn't matter if they're Japanese, if they're Asian, if they're Chinese, if they're Atlantean. I don't care where the fuck you found them from. Any king that comes to you with a choice to say join me or die is evil.
So I just think it's crazy that you're reading into this that he wants to partially join the Commonwealth so he can get Canada, but you're saying he wants to destroy the Constitution. You're being hyperbolic and you're reading in too far to this, dude, and you're gonna spread lies to a bunch of dipshits, but I'm not gonna fall for it. So, but you're, it's okay. You're gonna be wrong.
Yeah, you're gonna fall for joining the Commonwealth instead. Hey, Revere's riding through with the fucking, the British are coming, and you just
John, yeah, you don't have to accept this. We're theorizing here. No one knows the future. We think that this could be fake news. We think this could be real. We don't know the future. Do you, Dr. John? No, you don't. We're not trying to move you. We're trying to inform you.
And I did not move you. I don't care that you're up here. I think that you're a great use of time for me to show as a test subject example the brainwashing that has actually happened over the past 8 years to condition us to think that Donald Trump is a good guy no matter what he does. Even if he takes America and says, we will join the United Kingdom, we will destroy 1776, you think I'm speaking against Trump. I'm not. I'm speaking for the Republic, for making America great again. And making America great again does not mean joining under subjugation. That is bullshit.
I do like the actual, music, but not right now. So let me pin a new link because this video has 12,000 views. It's on E. Trump responds to UK supposed secret offer. This is the thing about fake news is like this could be disinformation from foreign sources trying to influence us to even have this conversation. What Trump does, this is the thing. It's like, well, okay, so this is the thing is, I don't know Vance's background, but he went to Yale. So there's this whole skull and bones thing.
Yeah.
The skull and bones is the Germanic symbol, for essentially death and war, meaning that the military-industrial complex controls all from 1945 on. Like what Dwight Eisenhower was warning against. So that's why I say this is a merger, and it's coming. Like this will be the big gotcha, pull the rug out from underneath you. Like welcome to the New World Order, and this is what George Bush and George Bush Jr. were doing. They were preparing us for a reintegration with the King of England. I mean,
well, the fact it's not on CNN, it's not on NBC, it's not on ABC, the people who hate Donald Trump so feverishly, you would think that this would be something that would be the best talking point to use against him right now. To say, oh, our political enemy has made a massive mistake. He has just tried to bow down America to the British, the redcoats. That's exactly what that is. And that would be a great political talking point. But their silence says to me something else, a coordination that I did not expect that leaves me with my stomach flipping upside down and worried.
See, there's always the universe is always going to pull a fastball on you and, or a curveball and trick you. This is the big trick. And no one on this app is talking about it. The media doesn't want to talk about it. And you know why they don't want to talk about it? Because they don't want to let the cat out the bag. This is a giant publicity campaign, and it's a coordinated event. It's coordinated. It's on the schedule. It's on the calendar. The game begins, Dr. Benji. Have you seen the good news?
It explains the events in Russia and Ukraine as well. Why this is happening at the same time.
Yeah.
People forget that Russia, while it may be seen as separately, is part of the Germanic tribe system too. The 12
so
tribes.
What does France get out of this? Like, how is France going to coordinate? Like, what is French, or is French already essentially a part of the Commonwealth?
The French has been absorbed into the Commonwealth, I'm pretty sure. Let me see here.
I mean, it's not technically. It's its own nation in the European Union. So France, that's the thing is, I don't know if you've seen the French banking system in Africa, but it pretty much controls like a quarter of Africa. Like you can, Africa, you can actually see where fiat currency is in place, and which companies produce the fiat currency. It's like the ability to observe fiat economics, at a much more unique place on the planet, because the fiat is controlling the humans like ants and bees.
So French colonies are part of the Commonwealth, but France itself, being a origin nation, is part of the EU. So we could never join the EU, but we can join like the little shitty second tier side. And it's just like, how fucking it pisses me off even reading more and more about it.
So how will the EU respond to the United States rejoining the Commonwealth? Because everyone is going to cry and say that Trump has been blackmailed. That's going to be the accusation, and that'll be what he has to defend. But the thing is, how does he sell it? I don't understand how a reintegration or a merger.
But I mean, after we've talked to people here and just spoke about it in 10 seconds, liberals either are leaving the room and don't give a shit, or the MAGA people, who I would traditionally consider people who listen to me, maybe not Mountain, others might, hear the message a bit better. They're saying things like, I'm speaking against Trump right now. And it's like, what the fuck? That was what I'm saying, speaking against Trump.
Well, John or Mountain or whatever his name is, he will argue about anything and talk about anything. So
you're right. He is very slow, so I don't consider him MAGA. You don't have any of the real MAGA here just yet.
Yeah, this is interesting. I mean, I don't think people are going to be able to understand this until the announcements come out, because this is like the ultimate espionage, like the grandmaster chess move of the century. And this is what King Charles maybe has been plotting for 30 years of his life. Because in the West, we're constantly hypnotized with Putin being this grandmaster strategist, the one responsible for everything. But meanwhile,
everything of King Charles and the kings is like symbolic. Exactly. They've been ignored, and they have very real power and very real hands to use them.
Yeah. We just haven't. It's amazing because you can't really detect him, because he's so subversive, so good-willed, so charitable with their annual Christmas message and then their annual budget statement. People were really seriously.
Yeah, just a frail old lady. That's all. Look at that frail old lady. She's so sweet. No, that's not a frail old lady, and they're bloodthirsty reptiles. They always have been.
So how are you? I mean, I would encourage you never to commit violence unless it's in defense of your property or your life, or, I mean, I think
national security, which is a lawful action, by the way.
I'm not saying it's not, but if you don't have the legal framework to do it, you'll be labeled a domestic terrorist and just a petty criminal.
You're completely right. If I was to take violent action, it would be within a legal framework with resources, infrastructure. You would never see me do something like run outside the street with a machine gun in my hand and just start shooting. If there was a violent action I would take, there would be a massive infrastructure. I'm talking about bridges, factories, mining facilities. I would attempt to take a giant takeover. So there would not be something small. That's the type of, and it would take something big. It would take something like, joining the Commonwealth. If that fucking happens, I'm sorry, but there's only one option, and that is straight up fucking revolution. Part 2.
It's such a coup d'etat, isn't it? Because the Brits and the Saudis and all, I went to Thailand once, and in the airport I saw a big photo of all.
Okay, so this is what I was going to say earlier. I forgot. Why is it that we have these people like the Saudis, the Jews, the Brits, all these different tribes, the Japanese working with us? Because they realize that our republic is a threat to every single one of them. So while they may be enemies together, they have had 1,000-year wars, 10,000-year wars. But our republic may end all their wars and their existence completely and replace them. So they all have teamed up together with this coordinated strategy to take our republic down, to take the citizenry down, so that they can have what's left and fight back again over the 10,000 years that they've been doing.
It's so crazy that kings and queens exist and people are just unaware of their presence, It's just amazing. I mean, because the whole pyramid of structure is supposed to be, the universe flowing downward. And the apex is the king and queen, and then it flows to we the people. But our revolution confirmed the rights of man, that we are all princes. And so we have essentially our own royalty in every citizen of the Social Security number. And everything outside of that network of Social Security number networked individuals is a usurpation of our liberty, and actually an act of war against all of us. So it's like, how do we organize the true deep state resistance?
There are people who would hear what you just said there and think that you're trolling because you'll say that it's an act of war. But in very real essence, the existence of a king or a monarchy or any type of governance that is not an elected office, by the definition of our Constitution, is an aggressive act against our republic.
Yeah.
Its existence alone is an act of aggression.
I hate to quote Aleister Crowley, but he has this verse that says, it's like on an Irish hymn, it's like, if there's a republic, I'm gonna get it. He's like, fuck the King of England, if there's a republic, I'm gonna get it. So it's like the republic is the breakaway. And that's why I work the term the New World, and people come here to get away from the monarchical system of feudalism.
Well, I'm glad you ran Aleister Crowley. He's what do they call him? A Satanist.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very weird when you look at the structure of Satanism, because it's not about worshiping Satan. It's not about devils and demons and all that shit. I mean, the fake teenage Satanists that you see on TV, they might do it. They're just retards. They're not actual Satanists. The Satanists just have the ideology that kings and queens are evil. And it's a very weird thing, because in the faith structures that kings and queens have themselves built around, like the King of England, the Church of England, they say that kings are divine, holy, chosen, the Pope chooses kings, etc., stuff like that. So royals are connected to God in their structure. They have deformed faith of God to very literally keep them alive and in power. Where the evil, the Antichrist even, the Catholic Church even acknowledges and says that the Republic and republic structures are what they consider antichrist. That is the antichrist structure. So our country, to the Vatican, is an antichrist. They do not see it as legitimate. So how can we see them as legitimate? I mean, it's just, we have to really lean into, this is why I'm Jewish, but my faith is republicanism, if I'm going to be for real. That's my true, actual faith, is republicanism. And it's more like a Mandalorian faith. I carry my fucking rifle and I make sure that the republic is safe.
Well, see, the whole concept of republic goes back to Rome, meaning that was like the apex of human rights in the network, and then the out network or the out group that attacks our in network republic is our enemy. So if Trump is going to pull the curtain or pull the rug and sell us out in a way that nobody saw coming, it has to be an intelligence operation. So there's photos with Diddy, with Elon. There's photos of Trump with Ghislaine and Epstein and all of them. And so this network of, I don't know if you've seen the photos of them at Epstein Island in the beach, with Bill Clinton and a big stogie in his mouth. But this is a fuck network. This is a fuck group network that, it's not just about blackmail. It's about networking. It's not
a network of royals, and basically that was a prima nocta network.
Yeah, it's a prima nocta network. Yeah, it is a prima nocta. So, okay, so Robert the Bruce and how he sold out Braveheart, in that movie with do you think that's technically what's happening here, is that Robert the Bruce is Trump, King of Scotland, and he has tricked us, we stupid Americans, and in a massive intelligence espionage coup d'etat, we're about to essentially bend the knee back to the King of England and the Bank of England?
Maybe so, because it's I like that Pete Hegseth guy, but if you look, he's got that Crusader tattoo. I mean, he's got the perfect structure to do it if he wanted to do it, doesn't he? If he wanted to join, his whole administration would be perfectly set up to allow that to happen.
See, soldiers are going to
do... him, Pete Hegseth. Every single person he's picked, even that little Pam Bondi bitch, I'm sorry to call her that, but I don't like her. Even she, it seems like she would be more leaning toward, I just can't believe what I've seen. These people who, I don't even know. I have no idea what I've witnessed here. I'm blown away. My MAGA hat is blown off my head and it's on the ground. I'm looking at it and I'm pissing my pants.
So it's not just America that's going to be shocked. It's going to be the world. Everybody's mouth is going to open because Trump is going to go back. And, these deep state patriot rooms, they're going to, I bet you anything, they're all going to bitch and complain about this. and he's gonna go to England.
Oh, I hope no, guys. I hope we have somebody to fuck.
No, but they're fakes. They're not deep state. They're not deep state patriots. They're bullshit artists. They're just spend all the money on bullshit. They're bullshit artists. Like, anyways, the point is.
That's what I've been saying. They've been doing is that they've been the guys doing what Trump has been doing. That's what I don't understand. I thought that they were the ones doing this. So now he does it, and it's like, yeah, they're working together, or there's no good guys at all, and it's just like regular people are just screwed at this point.
Yeah, regular people are screwed, but what I'm saying is this is like a coup d'etat chessboard thing, and Trump is going to go there. He's going to meet with King Charles, and he's going to shock the world with an announcement. Like, as the president, like, I am essentially, like, his speech is the hypnosis. Like, the law comes from their mouth, and we eat it. Whatever they say is the new reality. So, I mean, that's how it's all going to come out. Is like he's going to give a speech probably in England or in the U.S. And like you said, Hegseth is the new first sergeant, or essentially the new command sergeant major. Like, it is going to go. It is going to go. It's going to go. It's going to go. What is it? Totalitarian, or it's going to go fascist. It has to.
And if it turns out that these blue-haired LGBTQ crazy people have been right the whole time, I'm going to be very embarrassed. I'll tell you that. But I will completely and utterly fight against it. That's 100,000%. That does not mean I want the left to win. That just means I am not about to allow our country to fall into the subjugation of the royalists. It's just, and it's crazy that this room even, that nobody is coming to the room to like discuss the subject of Donald Trump's biggest betrayal to the country yet. What the fuck is that? Nobody cares about this?
No, because people just want to come here for their 3-minute clips and waste everybody's time with low IQ dumb shit. This is 2 next level chess move. This is 3 chess pieces ahead. They're still on their first chess piece move. This is fascinating because I really do see this as being like, it's even with Elon, like that he's the layering and the integration. He's the IT department of the takeover.
Yeah, as soon as they talked about Donald Trump doing this, it all flashed into my fucking head with Elon Musk, the cryptocurrency. I was like, why is this scam being pushed? I don't understand why the president of the United States, why this brilliant guy is pushing Doge, blah, blah, blah. It's for that centralized European Commonwealth fucking electronic bullshit that they intend to bring on us. And it's just like, son of a bitch. We have been tricked.
Yeah, we got tricked. But the thing is, the other side was even worse. I can't see how Kamala and Waltz could have been a better alternative to Trump and Vance.
Like I said, it's Palpatine. No matter what you do, he wins in the end. You get Waltz and Kamala, and you get the Commonwealth. You get Donald Trump and Vance, and you get the Commonwealth. It's like, it actually literally feels right now the same feeling that I have when I watched episode 3 of Star Wars, Order 66, when it comes down, you know what I'm saying? And you're watching it in Clone Wars and you see it again. I have that same feeling right now. Like, Order 66 was just launched. The Jedi are being psyched the fuck out. Everybody's being executed. And we're going to, not literally, you know what I mean? But it feels like that. It feels like
Americans are like cattle, just grazing in the field. And when 3 skyscrapers fall from 2 planes, the cows just look around and they're like, moo. Like, there's no explanation for anything because everything gets covered up, and you have to form your own, estimation of what's happening and how you're just like a fart.
The Jews did 9/11, and it's a conspiracy theory. They're right. The Jews did 9/11. The Jewish cabal of their 12 tribes did 9/11, and it was to fight the other elites, the Germanic elites of Europe. They are at war, they fight each other all the time, and they have power structures here in America, and they kill each other. So it's not the Jews like regular Jews, it's those 12 families, they're elites.
Yeah, just like that cow down there, Crystal. Can't believe she's on this side.
Is that Crystal, the new one? No. Anyways, I don't know too.
It's my ex. I invited her on a couple years ago, and can't believe she's even on Clubhouse.
Really? You used to date this chick?
Yeah, let me show you a photo.
Oh my God, is she stalking you?
I used to date her too. I can confirm.
Damn, players. You guys are what they call Eskimo brothers. So the thing about the tribes.
I was lying myself. I just wanted to join in and pretend to be cool for half a second there.
No, that's cool. So I don't understand the tribal thing. Like, it's not out in the open. Is it subconscious?
No, they've changed the words. So like even the House of Windsor, there's no House of fucking Windsor. Her last name is what's the fucking names again?
Saxe, Gothberg, Coburg.
Yeah, and those are three of the original Germanic tribes. That's what she's claiming. She's claiming to be the combination of three Germanic tribes. Their ideology of what they think Jesus, the King of Kings, will be, is the king that is the ruler of all 12 of their tribes, their Germanic tribes. That's what they're aiming for. That's what their goal is. And then it comes to the question, like, did Donald Trump believe himself as this? I remember him looking up going, I'm the chosen one. I'm thinking like in crackhead terms, and I hear crackheads say this all the time. He's not a crackhead, so he has some different advanced ideology. And that ideology is the royalist ideology. He believes himself part of their royal lineage and wants to join it.
PTR, this bitch. PTR, this bitch.
Why are you so upset? Like, aren't you flattered that she...
So young?
Like, she's...
You're telling me that
you know why I hate her so much? You know why I hate her so much? She's more racist than me. So...
Really? Well, she looks pretty hot. I don't understand. Why are you shitting on this girl? You used to bang this chick. I'm sure she was a nice piece of ass for you. Or did you guys not bang and you didn't solidify your union and that's why you're pissed?
No.
I'm guessing that she dumped him because he's too young.
No, we banged.
It's crazy that she's here. You got a fangirl then, and like she's your bitch then. She's your bitch. That she's here wasting her time listening to you.
Like, what's up, girl? Thanks for coming.
Aren't you? Oh wait, Chris is fucking with us. This is an AI ploy. I like it, Chris. It's smart. There's no way this is real. There's no way that this chick is in the audience. This is total AI, right? This is your burner.
I invited
Yeah, I'm
her
pretty sure
when
it is.
started. Like when it was still invite only back in like around the 2020.
But look at the houses she's in. Amir talking apes. Like, this is bullshit, dude. You're hypnotizing us with bullshit. But I like it, bro. She's hot.
We can see the giant massive hypnosis across the world, but couldn't tell that your little profile was fake.
We're trying to work on bigger level hypnosis here, Chris. We're trying to unravel what's coming for America. It's literally a merger. We're about to witness a transformation of our ethos, our constitution, our entire conditioning. I'm 42. I've been conditioned from, a long time to know that, like, that the possibility of the United States of America losing its independence is a reality that we have to prepare for militarily.
And you know what I'm tired of is people on Clubhouse not taking Dr. Voiceover Guy, whatever this guy's name is, his fucking 50 accounts. And Clubhouse doesn't take you more serious because I like fucking this dude. I really do. I talk to him all the time. Nobody else does. No idea. Because they're all being recorded and they want to get on here and say crazy stuff and have no substance, I'm guessing.
It's true. A lot of people want to be anonymous so they can use profanity and vulgarity and racism.
Yeah, and racism. That's the big one. They want to, like, use the N-word and blah, blah, blah. And I can do a racist joke. I'm James Snyder. I like a racist joke every once in a while. Who doesn't like a couple of racist jokes? But nothing that's, like, harmful, Not like, like, how many black people do need to hang from a tree? That's called horrible. That's not funny.
No, this is intelligent, and I like high-value intelligence conversations. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here for so long, because this, to me, is like it's like the jigsaw puzzle. We finally figured it out. It's like, whoa, I couldn't visualize this, but now that I see how much news there is around this, and really how it's like we're going to get the rug pulled out from underneath us, and even Elon's integration, the whole thing deals with royals, and the fact that fucking the Queen of England inherited the victory of World War II, and our independence was like the unfinished business. In fact, if they didn't go to war with Germany, they probably would have gone to war with us. I mean, this island considers itself, they got big balls. Got to give it to them. They got big balls because they realize that direct conflict is too expensive and too destructive, but sabotage or espionage or honeypots, because this whole thing deals with networking of honeypots. I mean, I don't know. I know people that work at this. I've met people that have worked at the CIA, and they're not the sharpest tools in the shed. They're technically fucking security guards. They're not working on global espionage.
I like your AI voice. That's funny as fuck.
What up, Dr. Chris?
He actually made it talk. It was like a Siri. It was like, "Hey, doctor, what's up?"
We're gonna say, Chris, if we can get the CIA to fund us, we're gonna send you to London, and we're gonna run honeypots on their leads.
Intelligence operations.
Yeah, we're gonna run honeypots, digital honeypots, so we can blackmail people. Digital blackmail.
But Ron H. Pervert, I mean, he was talking about this like months ago. He was saying that there should be a transatlantic partnership between the UK and the United States. So.
Well, a trade partnership is nothing. Like James was talking about the Black Hebrew Israelite rooms, and like maybe
a complete combination.
Yeah, I see what you're saying with Canada as well.
Yeah.
So everything that Trump.
What's up, guys?
That's my
bitch.
Does that mean that Trump is technically just a bullshit artist hypnotist, like the whole Greenland thing? Like everything is a coordinated like misdirect to just create content. Is that what the whole thing is about? It's just content
I
creation.
think it was a deal. I think he was feeling out what he could say and get away with to see if we were prepared or not yet.
I think it's just content production. It's like the content economy.
Were any of you in the room when Mountain was in here a minute ago? When we were talking about this, he's like, "You guys are talking against Donald Trump." And I'm in the red hat. I have worked for Donald Trump. I have supported this fucking guy more than most people have that you've ever spoken to before. So if I'm calling the fucking whistle and blowing it, or you say I'm speaking against Trump, but I'm pointing out that we might be joining the Commonwealth, it's just like, it's just a clear, effective brainwash that they have done over the past 8 years with this man.
So if we do get told that we're going to join the Commonwealth, does Congress take a vote? Does Senate take a vote? Does the Supreme Court take a vote? Like, how does this? Where's the pushback on this?
Well, I'm guessing the Supreme Court and Congress take a vote, and not the Supreme Court, Congress and Senate take a vote, and the Supreme Court could approve it. I have no idea how this plays out because I don't know how they feel about it. From what I've experienced so far when we talk to people, it's not good. It looks like people might support it.
Well, I don't see how is a liberal, pink-haired, LGBTQ, BLM, DEI person who believes in structural white racism, colonial genocide, going to say, rejoining the UK is a great idea? I mean, they probably will, right? Because they will be like, they're much more progressive here.
And they've never believed in, like, anti-imperialism. They love Kate Middleton. They love the princesses and the princes, and I think what they'll do is they'll just be silent. And you just don't hear them talk about it. There might be some opposition like me talking on the MAGA side, but other than that,